ever feel like you're just not using your full learning potential?
Totally. Like everyone's out there leveling up their skills, and you're stuck on the same old settings.
Right. It's so easy to get overwhelmed with where to even begin, though.
That's actually what made me think of this deep dive we wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. This is perfect. We just dug into an episode of Tech Talk Nexus, and they were all about boosting your learning with digital platforms.
Those platforms are everywhere, right? But how do you actually sift through them all?
Yeah, it's not like just signing up is the key to instant knowledge.
Yeah, not at all. There are definitely some strategies to make the most of those platforms. So, ready to unlock those secret levels of online learning?
I am. Let's do it. What were some of the things Tech Talk Nexus was saying?
Well, they focused on three big ones, right?
Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning, right?
Yeah. Those are the ones. They were saying it's kind of like choosing a coffee shop.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Each platform has its own vibe,
Yeah.
Like Coursera with all those partnerships with universities.
It's definitely got that academic classic feel.
Exactly. For those serious deep dives.
Yeah.
Then you've got Udemy, which is
It's like...
Udemy is almost the opposite end of the spectrum. It feels like stepping into a super independent coffee shop,
Yeah, with like a million different options. You never know what you're going to get, but there's bound to be something cool.
Definitely. And I do love their massive, massive range of courses, though.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of Udemy, Tech Talk Nexus actually had this really interesting tip.
Okay, let's hear it.
They said, when you're browsing courses, don't shy away from ones with loads of student reviews, but maybe a slightly lower overall rating. Really? That's so counterintuitive. Most people are drawn to those super high ratings.
I know, right? But they were saying it often means the course is engaging enough to get people talking, to spark debate and different viewpoints, which can actually be really valuable.
Oh, I see what they're saying. Makes a lot of sense when you think about it like that.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered Coursera, we've covered Udemy. So what's the deal with LinkedIn Learning then? Where does it fall in this coffee shop analogy?
LinkedIn Learning is like that sleek coffee shop in the heart of the business district. Super focused, all about efficiency and career growth. Tech Talk Nexus definitely recommends it if you're looking to level up in your current field or even make a career pivot.
Right. The courses are often tailored to super in-demand skills, which is perfect if you're trying to get ahead in the job market, right?
Exactly. And speaking of getting ahead, Tech Talk Nexus made another point that really resonated with me. Online learning gives us this amazing power to learn on our own schedule, which is perfect for anyone who's juggling, a million things.
Well, 100%. You don't have to squeeze it into an already packed schedule.
Exactly. And it actually ties into their whole success formula for online learning.
Okay, what is this magical formula?
Well, they were saying you have to treat your online learning time with as much respect as you would an important meeting, like actually schedule it into your calendar.
Otherwise, it's just too easy to push aside, especially with everything else going on.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's so true. And another key ingredient in their success formula is getting really, really specific about your goals.
What do you mean by that?
So instead of just being like, oh, I want to learn to code, which we've all said at some point,
Oh, yeah, guilty.
they were saying you have to dig deeper. Ask yourself what kind of coding excites you. What is it that you'd want to build with that skill?
Oh, interesting. So, like, is it an app? Is it a website? Is it something totally different? Having a more concrete vision will help you stay motivated and, well, actually finish the course.
Totally. They said it's like planning a trip. It's way more exciting when you have a destination in mind.
That makes sense.
And speaking of trips, they also talked about how learning doesn't have to be this solitary journey. Connecting with other learners is so important.
Yes, they really emphasize that community aspect. It's easy to feel isolated when you're learning online, especially when you hit those inevitable roadblocks.
Totally. Having that support system can make a huge difference. And then, to really seal the deal, Tech Talk Nexus reminded us that knowledge is meant to be put into practice.
Absolutely. Don't let it just sit there in your brain.
They said it could be anything. A personal project, maybe volunteering those new skills you just learned, or even just explaining a concept to someone else.
It's all about those real-world applications.
Right. Because that's what really solidifies what you've learned and makes it stick.
Wow, that's a lot to think about. You've inspired me to take another look at my online learning game.
Me too.
Okay, so I'm curious. Thinking about Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning, where are you most drawn to dive in first? What speaks to your learning style?
Oh, that's a tough one. You know what? I'm actually thinking that Udemy approach of not shying away from those courses with tons of reviews and slightly lower ratings sounds really intriguing.
Really? So you're thinking of fully embracing those debates and different perspectives?
Exactly. I kind of like the idea of stepping outside of the super polished courses and maybe challenging myself a bit more. What about you?
Hmm. You know what? I think I'm leaning towards LinkedIn Learning.
That streamlined, career-focused approach, huh?
Yeah, it just really appeals to me. Plus, I've been meaning to brush up on some skills in my field. I think that environment might be just the push I need to actually make it happen.
I can totally see that. It's all about finding the right fit, right?
Absolutely. And hey, who knows, maybe we can even compare notes on our learning journeys down the line.
I'd love that. It's always more fun to level up together.
That's for sure. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one final thought I want to leave everyone with. Tech Talk Nexus, focused on those established platforms.
Which are great, don't get me wrong. They're great starting points.
Yeah.
But
But what if we took it a step further? There's a whole world of alternative learning communities out there too, right?
oh, totally. Like online forums, social media groups.
Even just finding people who share your interests and are passionate about learning new things, that's where the real magic can happen.
I love that. It's like taking your learning adventure off the beaten path.
Exactly. So, as you embark on your own online learning journey, don't be afraid to explore those uncharted territories. You never know what amazing discoveries you might find.
Who knows? You might even stumble upon a hidden skill or passion you never knew you had.
Now, that is an exciting thought to end on. So go forth and learn, everyone. And most importantly, have fun while you're doing it.
Absolutely. Happy learning.